Greetings, everyone. This is your girl, LaSage. I am coming to you with a book club online. I will be reading, I have an extensive ebook collection, and I will be reading some big name books. I will be reading some books that will touch your heart, some books you may not have even heard of. I will be reading materials on the topics of wealth, metaphysics, esoteric knowledge, of, non-religious materials, or I may be doing commentary on religious materials because I have developed my gift of discernment where, I certain truths resonate with me and I can get downloads and I channel information. And so I will more than likely do commentary at some point. But right now, since I'm already reading, I'm going to share the material with you. Just to let you know, I do not own this material. I am not the copyright. I do not have copyrights to this material. And the material that I will be reading, you can purchase it online. You can have access to it. You can go to audible.com and you can purchase the audiobook if you like listening to audio better. You can, sometimes you may not be able to find some of this material on popular websites. If you would like for me to, no, I'm not going to put myself out there like that because I can start getting a million requests, and I definitely don't want to infringe on anyone's material or anything. So you'll get this information as I upload it. You'll get it every week, every so often as I read it. So I may read it every day. And if I don't read it every day that week, you're definitely going to get a weekly update. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit the bell to subscribe to updates. And the first book I'm going to read is called The Sacred Yes, and it's by the name of an Indian guru by the name of Osho. He was very controversial. There was a lot that was said about him. However, I know that whenever anyone has come and tried to free people from oppression, free their minds of the conditions that are taught, they were seen as the enemy by outsiders, by people who didn't understand the mentality of having an open heart and intuition and developing your inner self and self-love. They're so focused on money and power and all these things. They think that they're missing something. I mean, they think that power is what they're missing. They think that all the things that they're trying to gain, that this money is all the things that's going to fulfill them. However, that is not the case. These things that they're seeking can be obtained by default, by living in your purpose, by creating. And so when you understand the magic of the universe, then you start to, life is different for you. So these people that want to have power, they cut that information off. Well, I'm not going to get into that. I can really just get in deep. However, just listen, follow along, enjoy. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. What they have on here on Google is Rajneesh, also known as Acharya Rajneesh, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, and latterly known as Osho, was an Indian spiritual guru, philosopher, and the leader of the Rajneesh movement. During his lifetime, he was viewed as a controversial new religious movement leader and mystic. I really don't like that word religious movement because, like I said, it's just he was really freeing people's minds from religion, from conditions. And so I definitely disagree with that terminology. However, they actually may have even somewhat referred to themselves as a religious movement just to move through the system and be able to get the proper paperwork they needed. However, they were the furthest from religion, and that was unfortunately what the system used to bring them down, because they're like, okay, you're free to use religion here, but if you're not religious, then you cannot have these particular statues. And you can go read more. I mean, you can watch his documentary, Wild Wild Country. They had a whole community. They had this whole, I mean, it was amazing what was built. You gotta watch this documentary. Watch it with an open heart. Watch it with an open mind, because there's a lot of judgment, a lot of things that could be said. However, you just want to look at it all and realize that people who are on the who want to be a part of the system, who fight for the system. If you've ever seen The Matrix, that is a definite go-to metaphor for how it really is. Like, those who want to be a part of the system, who play their part, they are a part of the system, and they unfortunately are your enemy. And I don't particularly like to use the word enemy, because love is my religion, but enemy is somebody who is not for you. If they're not for you, they're against you. You understand? And so you know that, and you move through life knowing that this person is not for me. So you're not going to trust that person with your life. You're not going to trust that person with certain things. And that's just what it is. You're going to know how you're going to trust them to be who they are, and you're going to move around it, and you're going to rise up regardless of whatever entities are trying to hold you down. And so this documentary, I love how it displays the tenacity and the resiliency, and things that had come up against them, and how they were living joyfully, and how they were living free, and how they were facing their dark side and releasing things, and just openly and just sensual. It was just a lot. And so anyways, his ideals, let it feed you. And if it doesn't taste good, or if you see it, leave the rest on the shelf. Take what you can eat and leave the rest on the shelf. Okay. So I'm going to get to the reading. It's called The Sacred Yes. And it's actually a compilation of talks given from January 11th, 1978 to November 30th, 1978. Chapter 1. November 1st, 1978, p.m. in Chuang Zoo Auditorium. Viet or Viet means beyond. Gnostico means no, beyond saying no saying. The religions in the past have been teaching people a kind of negative attitude. The old religions depend on the don't. Don't do this, don't do that. Their whole approach is how to negate life. They think that by negating life, they will be coming closer to God. And that is just absurd. Life is God. To negate it is to negate God himself. One needs a great yes-saying heart, and the yes has to be so total that it can contain the no in itself. The light has to be so total that darkness becomes just a part in it. Life has to be so total that death becomes just an episode in it. And when one can say the great yes to all that is, to the darkness, to the light, to the agonies of life, and to the ecstasies of life, to the body and to the soul, to the earth and to the sky, when one can say yes to all that is, it becomes a sacred yes. And my sannyas is based on the sacred yes. It is a totally new vision. No has to be dissolved into yes. The old religions were somehow suicidal. They shrank people's lives. They were escapists. They did not allow love. They did not allow relationship. They did not allow the multiplicity and the richness of life to be lived, to be enjoyed, to be experienced. They taught people to escape from life and its multiple experiences, to move to the monasteries, to renounce. They were based on no. Their whole philosophy is contained in no saying. And the person who was very skillful in no saying became a great saint in their eyes. He was just a kind of masochist. He was neurotic, but because of the philosophy of no, neurotics became saints. They were worshipped. They were slowly poisoning themselves because when you say no, you poison yourself. Yes is life-giving. And yes has not to be partial. It has to be total. Yes has not to be something against the no. Otherwise, it will be partial. Yes has to be so huge that it contains the no in itself. And when the yes is so huge, so enormous, so infinite, that it is capable of containing its opposite, then it becomes a sacred yes. Sannyas is sacred to yes to life and all that is contained in life. And to live with this yes needs courage. To live with this yes means that one is ready to dissolve into the existence, that the dewdrop is ready to drop into the ocean. But the moment the dew drops into the ocean, it also becomes the ocean. That is the meaning of your name. Go beyond no. Try to reach the ultimate yes. That is prayer, and that is true religion. Osho gives a sannyasin an energy darshan and says, perfectly good. Start doing one thing that will help your energy very much. Exhale deeply whenever you remember, many times in the day. Just a good exhalation. Throw the whole air out. Don't inhale. Let the body inhale. You only exhale, and the body automatically inhales. No efforts should be made to inhale. Inhalation should be spontaneous and natural. But with exhalation, make every effort. Your lungs are not getting as much air as they need, and that will keep your energy low. Only 1/3 of your lungs is getting air, and that is creating a division in your body, and the circulation of the energy is disturbed. Your energy is perfectly good, but the circulation is blocked. Just exhalation will help, and after 2 months, you can report to me. For 2 months, do exhalation, but don't do too much. Once in a while, in the day, at least 7-8 times you can do it, but never do it in the night, only between sunrise and sunset. If you do it in the night, then sleep will be disturbed. Because sleep needs a little carbon dioxide in the lungs. If there is too much oxygen, then sleep is disturbed. Just 7 times at one time, only 7 times, and at the most 7 times in the day. So that means 49 times, that's all. Because if much oxygen goes in too, that too creates a kind of imbalance. Then you will feel too excited. That too is not good. So 49 times in the whole day. And that too will be between sunrise and sunset. Not in the night, never. And after 2 months, come back. Good? Okay, Osho. Chapter 2. November 2nd, 1978, p.m. in the Shuangzi Auditorium. Deva means divine. Samvega means feeling, emotion. God is available through feeling and only through feeling. It is not a question of thinking, and the people who start thinking about God are bound to conclude that there is no God. Their very method prohibits it. It is as if one is trying to listen to music through the eyes. If a person has decided that he will believe in music only when it is heard through the eyes, then there will be no music for him. Eyes can see, but they cannot hear. And God is not a question of logic. It is a question of love. It is not through the head that one comes to know God, but through the heart, and those who have hearts are bound to know God. The modern man has by and by lost all track of his own heart. It has become only a physical thing, a pumping station for blood and purification. The spiritual heart is hidden behind the physical heart. Just as the brain is not the mind, so the physical heart is not the true heart. The mind is hidden behind the brain. The brain is only a vehicle of mind. In exactly the same way, the heart, the real heart, the spiritual heart, is hidden behind the physical heart. The physical heart is only a vehicle for the spiritual heart. But the modern man is deceived, utterly deceived by the physical heart. When Jesus talks about the heart, he means nothing else. When Sufis talk about the heart, they mean something else. Their heart is not part of physiology. It is something behind the physiology, transcendental to it. So, descend from the head deeper into the heart, and you can easily do it. Hence the name. It will not be difficult at all. Just a little effort, and you will start hearing the heartbeat of the spiritual center of your being. Deva means divine. Asmito means I amness, divine I amness. It does not mean the ego. The ego is a false self created by the society. It is not your real center. Your real center is almost no self, but the feeling of amness remains. Even when the ego dissolves and the personality is dropped, then too there is a feeling of amness. One still is, though one cannot say, I am a self. Self means separate from existence. One cannot say, I am separate from self and existence, but one certainly is. This isness is asmito. It is an experience of egoless existence, and this can be penetrated slowly by becoming aware. The process is awareness. Just watch your thoughts, your feelings. Everything changes. Only I amness remains permanent. One moment it is anger, another moment it is love, but they go on changing. One moment you are happy, another moment you are unhappy. They go on changing, but one thing remains eternally there, and that is I amness. That is never lost. Not even in deep sleep, it persists. It is as if I amness is the mirror, and on the mirror 1,001 things are reflected, and they go on passing. There is procession. The whole traffic of the mind goes on by, but the mirror remains. It simply reflects. When one is confronted by anger, it reflects anger. When sadness comes, it reflects sadness. One cloud moves, another one comes, and another, and it goes on reflecting all kinds of shapes and forms. Still, it is neither of them. It is neither happiness nor unhappiness. It is just a mirror reflecting. That is asmito, the innermost mirror of consciousness. And to find it is to find God. It is the door into pure existence. But the first one has to attain one's own pure existence, uncontaminated by the idea of ego. And from there, one can easily slip into the eternal ocean of God. Sva means self. Samvado means communion. To be in communion with oneself. That's the whole process of meditation. People are divided against themselves. Everybody is living a split life. The difference is only of degree. Otherwise, everyone on this earth is schizophrenic. Nobody is really healthy because health means wholeness, and nobody is whole. Everybody is divided. For centuries, the society has been using that strategy to destroy the integrity of the individual. It gives you ideals. It tells you how you should be. It never allows you to love yourself as you are. It creates division. You are one thing. The society says you have to be something else. You become two. Your ideal self creates a constant tension in you. Your real self also becomes a burden because you don't want it. The society says that it is worthless. Drop it. The real is denied and the unreal is imposed. Now this is the whole misery of man. How can one ever be in bliss if the real is denied, rejected, condemned, and the unreal is appreciated, valued? The unreal remains unreal, but it hovers above your head, continuously torturing you. You should be this, and you cannot be anybody else other than who you are. So it becomes a heavy burden. You constantly have to deny your reality. That split creates a state of split. One is no more in communion with oneself. This conflict is the root cause of all neurosis, all psychosis, all madness. The unhealthy ego, the healthy and the whole person is one. Scratch that last part. The beginning is the healthy and the whole person is one who has accepted his totality with no rejection, who has never condemned anything, who simply lives the way he is, who has no ideal, who moves movement to moment. He moves moment to moment with reality that he is as he is. He has tremendous respect for himself, love for himself. He accepts all unconditionally. If he is sad, he accepts his sadness. He doesn't say, "Oh, I should not be sad." He knows nothing of the language that consists of shoulds and oughts. He says, "If I am sad, I am sad. I have to live it. This is me, and there is no other me. This is the only me there is." And the moment you accept your sadness, a great communion arises between you and your sadness. You are bridged, and even sadness becomes beautiful. Even sadness starts making your life rich. Then there is anger. The whole person respects the anger. He does not repress it. He does not condemn it. He does not pretend that he is not angry. Whatsoever reality is there, he is totally in communication with it, and he lives with utter acceptance. This brings miracles in life. When you accept all that you become integrated. When you accept all, you become integrated. When you accept all, you don't have any conscious and unconscious division in you. Your house is no more divided against itself. When you accept all, through that acceptance, a transcendence happens. You are not just the sum total of all that you have accepted. You are something more than the sum total, and that something more is divine. Once that divineness is tasted, then many things disappear on their own accord. Anger simply disappears. Not that you drop it. It is no more found. The split person becomes angry. Sadness disappears on its own accord. Not that you have done something to change it, to help it grow. You have simply accepted. In that acceptance, you are no more fighting with yourself. When the fight stops, there is a dance, because the energy which was engaged in the fight is there. It becomes a dance. It becomes a song. It becomes a beatitude. This is my whole teaching. This is what sannyas is all about. Total acceptance of oneself and transcendence through that total acceptance. But transcendence is not the goal. It is just a byproduct. You are not to attain it. It happens on its own. Whenever it happens on its own. All that you need to do is to fight with yourself no more. Befriend yourself. Fall in love with yourself. And that brings harmony, accord, communion. Deva means divine. Nirvana means enlightenment. Man lives in darkness, but the capacity to live in light is there. Light can be enkindled. Everything is there, which can become light, utter light. But it is only a potential. It is like a seed. When you drop the seed in the soil, it has the whole program. It has the whole blueprint of the tree. All the leaves that will ever be, it has in the blueprint. The shape and the color and the height. The flowers and their colors and the fruits. In that small seed, all is hidden. If you cut the seed, you will not find anything there. It is invisible. But drop the seed in the soil. Let the seed disappear. And the sprout comes and foliage, and the tree starts growing. And whatsoever will happen, the tree may live thousands of years or hundreds of years and may bring millions of flowers. All was hidden in the seed. It was potential there. God is man's potentiality. We are just seeds, but we have still not fallen into the soil. Sannyas is the courage to fall into the soil and disappear. Then great light arises, light that is eternal, light that is deathless, timeless. That light is God, and to know that light is to be blissful forever. Man's destiny is great, but he unnecessarily lives in a very impoverished state. Man carries all the treasures of the world within him, but he remains unaware and remains a beggar. So let sannyas become a resurrection. Up to now, you have been dead. That's how millions of people are. You will find them all walking around dead people. They have not lived because they have not known who they are. Life starts only when you know who you are, never before it. Life is only when there is light inside, and you have seen your own being, and you have seen your own center. Millions of people go on living only on the surface, oblivious of the depths and the heights, oblivious of all they are meant to be. There is a Russian story. A man died, and only when he died did he find that he was alive. Death gave him the idea that he has been alive. Death became a contrast. Suddenly he recognized the fact that he had lived for only 80 years. He was alive. Otherwise, those 80 years were nothing but flat boredom. Sannyas has to become a resurrection. It is coming out of the grave. It is coming out of the flat life. It is coming out of the horizontal process of mundane life. It is changing the dimension from the horizontal to the vertical so that one can move to the heights and the depths. You carry with you heights of the Himalayas and depths of the Pacific. And when one has known all the possible heights and all the possible depths, then only does one know what a gift life has been. One feels grateful, and prayer arises out of that gratefulness. A sannyasin is back from the West. Osho suggests some groups for her. Much will happen. Just don't resist and don't fight. Be in a total surrender. So much can happen. So no energy is wasted and no time is wasted. People waste much energy in resisting. Things can happen very fast, but rather than cooperating with me, they fight, unconsciously, not aware that they are fighting. It is just their whole old habits. For their whole life, they have been fighting with people. That's what life is. A deep trauma is also there because parents have been ordering you and the teachers and the priests and everybody wanted you to obey them. So there is resistance to obeying. That has become almost built in. Here it is not a question of obeying. It is a question of surrender. And these two are totally different. Obeying means you are there, still there, and deciding to obey. Surrender means you are no more. There is nobody to obey or to disobey. You have simply become a let go. And the things can move so fast, unbelievably fast. Things which ordinarily take lives can happen in moments. So just remember this. For these 3 months, put yourself aside. Let me be your heart. Then 3 months can bring something tremendously significant in your being. And that is needed. And it is time. It is spring too, the season to bloom.